We've all been there, right? That awful, disruptive, burning sensation in your chest. Well, today we're going to dive into a really gentle, ancient approach to cooling that inner fire, maybe for good.
I mean, it's a terrible feeling, isn't it? That intense heat that just creeps up your throat and suddenly you're regretting that spicy dinner or that extra cup of coffee. It can totally mess with your mood, your sleep, just your overall comfort.
You know, according to the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda, that sensation is actually a signal. It's telling you that your body's internal fire is burning way too hot. But the solution, it might be simpler and honestly a lot more refreshing than you think. So to find the right fix, we first have to kind of reframe the problem. From an Ayurvedic perspective, this isn't just about stomach acid. Nope, it's about elemental balance. Okay, so in Ayurveda, you've got these three primary energies, or doshas. The one we're focusing on is called Pitta. That's the energy of fire and transformation. It's what governs your digestion and metabolism. Now, when Pitta gets aggravated and there's too much of it, it creates all this excess heat in the stomach. This leads to a condition Ayurveda calls Amla Pitta, which is exactly what we experience as heartburn.
So how do you know if your pitta is too high? Well, the physical signs are probably familiar. That burning feeling, a sour taste, maybe some nausea. But look at that last point, irritability or frustration. That's so key. Because pitta is the fire element, an imbalance doesn't just affect your body, it can affect your mind too, making you feel kind of hot-headed and quick to anger. And what throws that fire out of whack? Well, it's all the things that are hot, sharp, and intense by their very nature. You know, spicy foods, caffeine, stress, even just a really hot day. All of these things add more fuel to that internal fire, aggravating pitta and causing that burn. Makes sense, right?
So if the problem is too much heat, the solution is pretty logical. We gotta cool it down. And this is where coconut water comes in. Let's look at how this simple drink works its magic from both an ancient and a modern perspective. This is what I think is so amazing, when ancient wisdom and modern science totally align. Ayurveda has known for centuries that coconut water has a cooling energy, what they call sheet virya, that just pacifies that pitta heat. Plus, its sweet taste helps neutralize acidity. And what does modern science say? It's rich in electrolytes that help with hydration, and it can help modulate your stomach's pH. It's like two different languages saying the exact same thing. And yeah, there's even some modern research to back this up. Now, this study was in rats, not people, but the findings are pretty compelling. It showed that coconut water really did reduce acid secretion and even showed some protective qualities. So there's a real scientific basis for what practitioners have been observing for generations. Okay, so knowing what works is only half the battle. How and when you use it is just as important if you want to get real relief. So let's get practical. You know, with this stuff, timing is everything. The absolute best time to drink coconut water is in the morning on an empty stomach. It just cools and hydrates you for the whole day. Another great time is mid-afternoon, which is considered Pitta time in Ayurveda, when that fire is naturally at its peak. It's the perfect cooling intervention. Now, when should you avoid it? Definitely not right after a heavy meal, because it can slow down digestion. And it's not a great idea late at night either. And here are a few really important words of caution. If your discomfort feels more heavy and sluggish than hot and fiery, coconut water might not be the right choice for you. And always, always try to get fresh if you can. The packaged stuff often has sugars and preservatives that can actually be irritating. The best advice is just to start small, like with half a cup, and pay close attention to how your body feels. Real, lasting relief almost never comes from a single remedy. It really comes from creating gentle, consistent habits that support your body's natural balance, day in and day out.
So, here's what a simple pitta calming morning could actually look like. You wake up early, before the sun's heat really starts to build. First thing, you drink some room temperature coconut water to cool your system. A quick tongue scrape can help get rid of the gunk that builds up overnight. And then just a gentle 10-minute walk or some light yoga. It's all about starting the day with calm, cooling intention.
And of course, coconut water isn't your only tool. You can build a whole cooling toolkit. Think about things like fresh coriander juice, pomegranate or aloe vera juice. Simple foods like cucumber and melon are fantastic. Even adding a little ghee to your meals can help. And soothing teas like mint, fennel, or licorice root, they're an absolute game changer for keeping that pitta in check.
So after all that, what are the most important things to remember? Let's bring it all together and just cool down.
So the biggest thing is to start thinking of heartburn as excess heat, not just excess acid. Coconut water is a fantastic natural coolant for this, as long as you time it right. But the real, lasting relief, that comes from those consistent, gentle habits and a cooling diet. And above all, the number one rule is always to listen to your body. It's your absolute best guide.
I'll just leave you with this final thought. We're so used to thinking about heartburn in terms of suppression, right? Blocking acid, neutralizing it, fighting it. But what if the whole approach could be shifted? What if true, lasting comfort doesn't come from fighting a symptom at all, but from gently and wisely cooling your body's inner flame?